Castillo.
Okay, and you are Desmond's mother, correct?
Yes.
All right. So, first of all, walk me through why you wanted to talk. Is this the first time you've spoken to the media since this happened?
Mm-hmm.
And why are you deciding to talk now?
Because it's a lot. Like, my mother has portrayed my husband as this evil human being, and he's not. I 100% feel that he is innocent. I 100% feel that he's innocent. I feel that he has been done in great injustice, and I don't like the way that she's portraying him. I don't like her using my son as a pawn to get attention, to say that, look at me, this is what happened, feel bad for me. This is about Desmond and Roland. This isn't about you. You know, you need to step back and let the justice system do what they need to do, and you need to basically keep your mouth shut. Sorry if that's kind of rough, but it's true.
When you saw the original report go out, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, that I think we did the interview on Monday and then it aired Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
What was your reaction? What did you feel seeing that video?
I was angry. Like, they can tell you. Yeah, I was very angry. I wanted to give anybody that believed it a piece of my mind. I wanted to give her a piece of my mind. That's why I called y'all. I was like, the only way that I can give my peace of mind is to just go ahead and get out there, because it's not fair.
As a wife and a mother, you have gone through a lot. You lost your baby, and now your husband is incarcerated for something you believe he's innocent for. What has that toll been like for you?
I'm emotionally, physically, mentally, I'm tired. I'm numb. Like, I have to, like, throw myself into work and other things just to try to take my mind away from it, because I just can't focus on it. If I focus on it, then it's just going to drag me down. And I have to stay strong for Desmond, and I have to stay strong for Roland. I can't be weak. I can't do it.
Why not?
They need me.
If I may
They
say,
need me.
I'll be very honest with you, and I say this with all due respect. She has a problem with other races, if you know where I'm coming from.
The grandmother, Karen.
Yes. That's why she didn't use Castillo. You see where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. And ever since, this is not the first time that this happens to her. She has always been manipulated. Okay? She has told us her life story. She has been treated like a prisoner sometimes. And she was very scared when she first moved here, because she wasn't used to the way we were living, our environment. She has even told us with tears that she had never known the love that we have given her here.
Is that true?
She can tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a couple of tough questions, and like y'all are free to not answer, but I have to ask. Obviously, you are very close to these people, and there is...
I tell people I'm adopted.
And why is that? How did this relationship come to be?
Well, whenever me and my husband got together, me and Roland got together, we spent a lot of time with them, and I would always tell him on his off days, let's go see your parents. And, before Desmond was born, we'd go over there and see him. After he was born, we'd load everybody up and take them and go see them. And it's just, we built up that relationship, like, talked. They made me feel like a part of the family. They made me feel like I've been there since day one. And I don't think I could ask for any other in-laws. Like, they're the best.
So
Yeah.
the issues with Karen didn't start right after Desmond's
No, it's
death.
all throughout my life. Like, I have a sibling who, she went through similar situations, of like verbal abuse and, mental abuse. And when she came of age, she left. She got herself away from it. But that left just me. And she kind of just latched on to me, and very manipulative, and she knows how to manipulate people into thinking what she wants you to think. And it's,
She has other grandchildren, Miss Karen does. They don't let her see her.
So it's not just this group of family that there is a
No,
problem.
it's
no, it's all over. Like,
us, it's her.
Okay. So based on pictures that she showed me, she knew Desmond. She was around him when he was born. Is that correct?
yes.
So what happened after Desmond passed? Where did the split come into play?
Well, I found out through just family that while we were waiting in the hospital to see if he was going to be okay, she was talking to investigators, and they never, told us that he had passed away yet, but she was already telling people that, oh, he did it, he, hurt my baby and all this and all that. I found that out, and at the funeral, I found out that there was a mark, or like on December 9th, I gotta backtrack a little bit. On December 9th, he went to her house. Like, allowed her to take him to her house. He came home, and he was like very agitated, and she was agitated, like she was angry. And I opened the door, she just like kind of tossed him into my arms, and she just goes, "Take him, I can't do anything with him." And she turned to walk around.
That's what she was talking about.
Okay.
And I tried to ask her what happened. She wouldn't tell me. She just walked away, and left. Well, Roland came home from work. The parent test. I'm a new parent. I don't know what to do. So, we kind of pushed on it to see if it was going to hurt him, if it bothered him. And it didn't seem to bother him after he calmed down, so we just left it. Well, back to the funeral, that mark was already gone, but she was showing people that mark, saying that's where it happened.
Okay, so a mark that was there prior to.
It had gone away.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
And at the funeral, it wasn't there.
But she was saying that was a cause of however. Okay, alright. Real quick, I think your mic may have died. Give me just a second to put in a new battery. Okay, so at this point we are at the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
She's got pictures of a previous mark that happened at her house while he was with her. and is now saying that this happened recently, even though that mark is gone, correct?
I had the pictures. She never had the pictures. But yeah, the mark is gone by the time that, January 2nd came around. And she was telling people, that's where it happened. And my thing is, how do you know? How do you know so much when autopsy hasn't come out? Nothing has happened, how do you know so much information when you're waiting on the professionals? That's my thing. So that throws up red flags for me. And on top of that, excuse me, on top of that, she had set up a GoFundMe for his funeral, They paid, what was it, $1,000? They split it. It was $1,000 and she paid $1,000 because we didn't have the money to pay it. Well, after the funeral, I had found out that the GoFundMe had closed. So I called her to tell her, just split it between you guys to pay everybody back. She didn't do it. She stole the GoFundMe money.
How much money was in the GoFundMe?
It's like what, $2,300?
Yeah,
$2,300.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that money never made it to you or to the people that donated or anything like that?
No.
Okay. And did you confront her about that?
I did, and it was it was like right after the funeral. Like, I was on the phone with her outside, and there were people in here, and they heard me screaming at her, and, she was, first she told me that it was in someone else's account, it was under someone else's name, she was going to have to get it from them, and I was like, okay, well, whenever you get it from them, I need you to do this, and then she said, well, I don't have it, it's under your uncle's name. I was like, but you just said it was under somebody else's name. Like, where is it at? And that's when my stepdad got on the phone and he told me, there's no money. There's never going to be any more money. Stop calling. I was like, it's not about the money. It's about doing what you got to do. That was for him. This is about paying everybody back. That's all I'm trying to do. I don't care about money, and
was that the final?
That was the final lynch. And then I found out, and then after that was whenever I found out that she was going to investigators and spinning all of these lies and saying that she had seen, I think there was one story that I saw on the news where she had said that she had seen Roland like shaking him or something. So it's lies.
Okay.
It is lies because she has never been around Desmond and Roland at the same time. Whenever she saw Desmond, Roland was not there. He was at work.
So she was never left alone with the two of them?
No.
All three were never in the same room
No.
alone?
No.
Okay.
No. If she would come to see Desmond, Roland was always at work because, they didn't get along, but he understood from my standpoint that I wanted her to have that relationship with her grandchild.
Now, Roland and Karen never got along from the get-go?
They did at first, but whenever I was pregnant, she started like kind of mistreating me, saying some things that he didn't like, and he called her out on it. He told her, you don't talk to her like that. And she got angry, and that's where that happened. So she's always been that type of person to...
And then she also placed restraining orders on you.
She tried to place a restraining order on me.
To keep you away from her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Logic.
Okay.
See how she like twists it to yeah.
I'm going to ask the question that a lot of people are probably asking, and again, you do not have to answer, but I have to ask it.
Okay.
What happened when Desmond passed away? What happened?
What do you mean?
As in, how did he die, or how the
What were
injuries
the events leading up to him passing away?
with the medical examiner finding blunt force trauma to the head and torso? Do y'all know where that came from? Do you know what happened?
No idea. I just want answers. I just want the truth, because, as I said earlier, I'm emotionally numb to this point, because I'm sitting in my room at night researching, like doing my own independent research, trying to figure out what could have happened, how could this have possibly happened, why it happened, and basically making myself go crazy.
It's okay, Mama.
Take your time.
I just want answers. I don't know what happened.
Where were you that day?
I was asleep, and my husband woke me up, and he asked me to go and take he asked me to go and sit with Desmond because he wasn't feeling good. So I went downstairs and took my blanket with me, and Desmond was still asleep. And I looked at the clock, and it said like 7:10 or 7:19, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get him a bottle ready because he's gonna wake up and it's gonna be time to feed him. So I got his diapers ready for his diaper change. I've got the bottle ready, and I went over there and decided that since I was already awake, I was going to go ahead and wake him up. So I went over to him and tapped him on the chest, real lightly, and I was just like, baby talking to him, telling him that it was time to wake up, and he didn't wake up, and I kept doing it, and I kind of started getting louder with it. And then I did like this, and whenever I did that, I just screamed for Roland because he was cold. So Roland came running downstairs, and he told me to go and call 911. And I went, called 911. I started out doing CPR, but I don't know. Roland took over. I just remember Roland taking over, and I opened the door. I ran out and was flagging down the ambulance and the fire, whoever was there, and I remember the police separating me and Roland. Like, Roland was upstairs, I was downstairs. They were asking us questions, and all I cared about was Desmond. I was like, what's wrong with him? Is he okay? Is he going to be okay? And they're like, they're going to take care of him. And I'm like, well, I want to go with them. And they wouldn't let me go with them. So I think at that point, Roland finally had said, are you done with us? Because we need to go to the hospital. And we ended up, they were blocking us in and we couldn't get out. And we ended up pulling through our neighbor's yard, and I'm pretty sure our neighbor did not appreciate that, but yeah, we got to the hospital, and that's everything from there is a blur. But I remember that like reciting yesterday. Like, I could tell you what he was wearing. I could tell you what blanket he had. I could tell you, what position the swing was in. I could tell you every little detail that you wanted to know about that. But
Let's take a break real quick.
Okay.
So, a couple of months, right, between when
It was-
Desmond passed and when he was arrested. What was going on then?
Well, the house that we were in was my mother's, and she kicked us out. So 2 weeks after we had to bury our son, we had to move out. So that was a lot. So Mom and Dad, they let us move in over here. We packed up our stuff, we put it in storage, and basically moved our bed and our clothes in here. That was basically. After that, we just tried to, I don't even know, like, we just tried to make it, I guess, without losing our minds. Roland's really good. Well, I wouldn't say really good with emotions. He hides his emotions very, very well. He never cried in front of me, and he said it was because he had to be strong for me. And I think there was one day where he was like going through some stuff in our storage room, and Mom asked him that same question, and I think he cried out there with her. Like, he's very, very strong. And we had planned on getting married anyway, around tax time, because we had already planned it. So we sat down and we talked to each other, and we asked the question, do you think this is a good time? And we both agreed, we plan on doing it, and we need some type of light to come out. So on March 8th, we got married, and we only spent a month as a married couple, because on April 25th, April 25th, they called us. Roland left from work, said that they got the autopsy results, and we were ready. We were wanting to know what happened. So
Both of you were.
yes, and he came. He picked me up. Mom and Dad came with us. We went to the police station, and we sat in the waiting room for about 2.5 hours, 2 or 3 hours, and then they came out there and they got Roland, and they took him to the back, and I had to sit by myself for 2.5 or like another hour and a half, about an hour and a half, and then they came and got me, and they interrogated me again, like I remember one of the officers had like slammed his fists on the table and like had gotten like too close for me. Like, I don't like people being too close to me, and was screaming at me. And then they told me that they had arrested Roland, and I tried to tell them, you know, Mama, well, what about her? What about her? Y'all need to look into her. It was just like that light switch, and I was just like, y'all need to look at her, because she's the one that knows so much information, and how does she know this information? And they wouldn't listen to me.
Do you think your mother is the one that hurt Desmond?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Was she there at the home that day?
No.
Or no?
No, but I know that sounds crazy, but I do. I think that the injury that he sustained from December 9th, from her house, is the cause of his death.
That's a strong statement.
That is a strong statement.
Yeah, and his ribs were hurt 2 weeks before. They were healing already.
Yeah, the autopsy said that he had broken ribs that were already healing like a couple of weeks, like they had broken like a couple of weeks before. Well, if you put into the timeline, December 9th was 2.5, 3 weeks, you know, good 2 weeks before he passed away. So that would be right around the time that his ribs would have broken. So what did you do? What did you do to him? We were in court. When was it, January?
Yes. Yeah,
January, before we went in lockdown. She came and she was, you know, being aggressive. She said some mean things, and before I could retaliate and say something to her, I think she said something along the lines of, you need to be up there on the 4th floor posing next to this tree with your son's picture on it instead of being down here supporting your son's killer, or something like that. Before I could say anything, my mom, she turned around and she said, you probably did it. The first thing that came out of her mouth was, you can't prove it. That was the first thing she said.
What did you think when she said that?
I knew right then. But I can't get people to listen to me.
Why not?
I guess because I'm young and I don't know.
Now, what has your husband said throughout this? I mean, he's currently sitting in for a crime that you believe.
He's very angry. He is very angry. And I'm very angry for him. It's not fair. It's not fair to him. He's not a flight risk. He's not this monster. He is a hardworking, he is a fantastic dad. I mean, like, I love him so much. He's fantastic with his kids. He's fantastic with family, Olivia, his daughter.
Does he have other children?
He
I
does.
assume he has other children besides Desmond.
He does have other children. I don't think I should put her name in that. So if you come
Was
across,
that Olivia?
yeah,
Okay, we'll make sure that that's out.
okay,
Not a problem.
yeah, but he's very, what's the word?
He's a very
Quiet person.
quiet person.
Yeah.
Even growing up, he's the one that has never given us trouble growing up and into teenager and of age.
I'm trying to think of
Not
the
even
word. I
with the
can't
law.
think of
No.
it.
One ticket, seatbelt ticket.
I'm trying to think of the word. Whenever they're talking about people who don't really like
Introverted?
Huh?
Secluded.
Introverted?
introvert. Yes.
Great job.
He is very introverted. He does, I mean, he had a very small group of friends, like maybe one or two friends, and went to work, did his job, came home. That was whenever he was with his family, and we saw his personality.
What do you want the Wiregrass to know about Desmond, about you, about your husband, and about your biological mother?
Well, I don't think I can say what I want to say on camera about my mother, but I just want the truth. Not for me, not for my sanity, you know. I have different coping methods. I want the truth so that Desmond can get the proper justice that he deserves. True and proper justice. Not just this finger pointing, oh, well, this person did it, let's arrest this person. No, I want just the truth and go from there. That's all I want. My husband is not this evil human being. He's not. He's just like everybody else. And he would never hurt anyone, and he would never hurt his children, his nieces, or his nephews, or anybody. Like, that's not him.
You're saying he did not kill Desmond.
I'm saying that he is innocent, and I have my suspicions of who I think it is, and whether or not I can get someone to listen to me, I don't know. But I'm going to keep fighting to make sure that someone listens. You know, if I have to go to the steps and scream it, then I'll scream it, so be it. But I mean, do your job. Do what you're supposed to do. And it's infuriating, like, have a lot of anger built up, because it's just like, I'm bringing evidence to you, but you're so comfortable with yourself that you don't even want to look into it. You don't want to admit that you're wrong.